Hey everybody, it's Alex from Heavy New York. We are back at the PlayStation Theater, and today we are here with Necrot for Decibel 2019. Thank you for being here, man.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, it's so awesome to have you here. Now that Blood Offerings is about over 2 years old now, do you have like a conclusion on this record cycle?
I mean, we've just been really heavily touring on it for the last 2 years. We did two full U.S. tours and a full U.S. or not a full U.S. Sorry, a full Canadian tour to support it back in 2017. We went to Europe last year for 40 days. We've done a bunch of festivals to support it. Basically, just trying to get as much as we can out of it. And we're working on a new album right now. Hopefully, we can get into the studio to record it by the end of this year, and then next year have it out.
Awesome. For without giving too much away, obviously, for people who discovered you on Blood Offerings, you got a lot of mileage in this record. Could people be expecting like a direct follow-up to Blood Offerings, or are you going to maybe experiment and try something a little different?
I feel like we're gonna just keep it the way that we've always done it, just stuff that we want to play, and just keep it heavy and just pure death metal like usual.
Yeah, definitely. I feel like you guys and bands like Gate Creeper, for example, you guys like really enforce like the classic death metal sound for Morbid Angel and Cannibal Corpse and stuff like that. Was that like your big inspiration starting this band?
Oh, I mean, we had a lot of influences, ranging from punk and death metal. I mean, it kind of goes all over the board. But I mean, I feel like a lot of the bigger names that could like kind of connect our sound with would be like, Grave or Nihilist, Bolt Thrower. I mean, those are the bands that I think like, the album sounds kind of similar to. But it's not like we're going out to make an album to sound like some other band. It's like we're trying to make an album for us. It's our band, so that's the ultimate goal, at least for us.
Definitely. Now, the first time I saw you guys, you were playing with the Black Dahlia Murder, which I would say, they're a little kind of like the new school death metal fans. They have a lot of young fans, but now you're on tour with Cannibal Corpse and Morbid Angel, who are death metal veterans. Depending on like the tour you're on, have you noticed like different age range or different types of fan bases?
Well, most of these shows on the Decibel tour are all ages, so we've been seeing a bunch of people from like I guess like up to 10 years old and even older, and that's great. I mean, that's what these are the kind of shows that we want to play because we reach everybody. Normally we're just playing bars, and like it's very we don't get to play a lot of all ages shows, so it's nice when we get to do this, and this tour is like it emphasizes that, and so we get to reach the maximum amount of people at every single show, and we're happy about that.
Definitely. Now, one thing that I would think makes you guys kind of stand out in the realm of death metal is that you guys are a three-piece band, which, you see most death metal bands, there's always two guitar players, sometimes even three, and then, obviously the bass player, drummer, and a single vocalist. Does maybe being a three-piece band have like an emphasis on your sound as well? Do you think that maybe makes you guys stand out a little bit?
I mean, it definitely makes us stand out because a lot of bands, like you said, are more than, it's around 4 or 5 people. But I think it's like we have the power trio thing, and it's like we each bring our own individual like ability to the table, and we're all good at what we do, so of course it's going to make us stand out.
Yeah.
I mean, we all come from a bunch of different bands, and we've all been playing for a long time, so I think it's definitely unique as far as from newer bands or bands that are still going around, because a lot of people want more power in their band, but I feel like we have the ability to bring just as much power as a three-piece.
It's not about how many guitarists are in your band. It's about how well, a guitarist is. I'd rather have one great guitarist than like two or three, okay ones.
Yeah, no, for sure. Totally.
Yeah. And I feel like there's a lot of pressure because, if your bassist is threatening to knock down the tripod. But, hey, actually, feel free to do that because that's my most watched. That happened, and that's my most watched video on YouTube. It's my most watched video on YouTube. So, but what I was mentioning is being that there's only three members. You always have like the second guitar player, to back up the first one, and
It's going well?
Yep, doing great.
Very good. Well, I'll come check back with you in a little bit.
I thought you were gonna join us. But I even forgot what I was gonna say. Oh, like being that you have one guitar player, you don't have the second guitar player to kind of back up, so you guys have less flexibility to fuck up, basically.
Yeah, no, yeah,
He's a badass guitar player.
exactly. So it's like we're not gonna fuck it up. We're
Yeah.
gonna play it great every single time.
Yeah, definitely. And the final question I'd like to ask you is, I had the honor to watch you and Blood Incantation. I know you guys are splitting the set tonight. Set up. So let's just give a rundown. Obviously, Evans heads is your main choice of drum heads.
I mean, yeah, for tom heads, I'd go with Evans most of the time. For shells, I use Tama. My kick pedals are Tama Speed Cobras. I use DW hardware for like cymbal stands, stuff like that. I use Vic Firth for sticks.
Nylon or wood?
Wood tip, yeah. I mean, I hit too hard to to use the nylons. The nylons just break every single time I use them.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so I can't use them.
So is it fair to say that you use the gear you use to kind of support the style of music that you play, or is it just the drums you've always used and that's what you're most comfortable doing?
I feel like the drums, every piece of equipment I use is because it stands up to the way that I play and how much I play. I'm playing in multiple bands, playing shows all the time, recording. Like, I need stuff that's going to hold up because this stuff's expensive. I don't have any endorsements. Like, I can't afford to buy a shit all the time. So I have stuff that lasts. And I feel like everything that I use is, it's a calculated decision based on that.
Awesome. So before we go, I want to thank you so much for your time. It's absolutely, even though this is probably the warmest day on the whole tour, because from what you told me, and your famous fuck ice sculpture that's somewhere on a highway in Oregon right now. Yeah, but is there just anything else with Necrot you'd like to promote? Obviously, you talked about some new music or any other tours coming up.
I mean, I just want to say thank you to everybody who supported us on the Decibel Tour and Albert for having us on it. Want to thank Liz at Earsplit and Scotty at Tank Crimes. And, I mean, I can't think of basically everybody who's helped us. So we've had, We Need Merch, our boy Carlos. He's hooked us up. We have Brandon at Inferno. Just basically everybody who supported us. Other than that, I can't think of anybody else right now. But
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Chad.
thank you for having me.
Of course, Chad of Necrot. Pick up Blood Offerings if you haven't already. New music coming soon. Decibel 2019 with Cannibal Corpse, Morbid Angel, Blood Incantation, and these guys. We'll see you next time.